You meet someone great. The early dates are incredible, the chemistry is obvious, and you start to think this might actually go somewhere. And then, without warning, she pulls away. The texts get shorter, the ghosting begins. Or maybe you're the one who suddenly finds a dozen tiny reasons to end things right when it gets serious. It is easy to focus on external factors, the flaws of dating apps, a string of bad timing, or just a streak of bad luck. But when psychologists looked at the data across hundreds of individual dating histories, they found a signal beneath that noise. In 1987, psychologists Cindy Hazan and Philip Shaver published a study suggesting that adult romantic love operates as a biosocial process. They proposed that your behavior in adult relational bonds formed in infancy. This chart illustrates the difference in outcomes based on their findings. People with secure relationship patterns maintained their relationships for over 10 years on average. Those with insecure patterns saw their relationships end in under 5. Your dating history is the result of a specific set of instructions. It is operating on a hidden, quantifiable code. Diagnosing exactly which version of that code is running in your head is the first step toward changing the outcome. Hazan and Shaver built their work on the concept of inner working models. These are mental templates constructed during our earliest years. Based on how your caregivers responded to you, your brain built a map of what to expect from other people. Now, that map is automatically piloting your romantic decisions. 56% of respondents are secure, experiencing love as trusting and friendly. They reported having affectionate parents, teaching their brains to expect stability. But 25% developed an avoidant model. Though appearing self-sufficient, they are uncomfortable with closeness and struggle to trust completely. When a partner wants more intimacy, the avoidant man's instinct is to immediately pull back and seek physical distance. The study found these individuals frequently described their childhood mothers as cold and rejecting. Their brains learned early on that relying on others was unreliable or even dangerous. Finally, we have the anxious-ambivalent category. Representing 19% of the population, this type is defined by a constant struggle to merge completely with another person. They experience extreme sexual attraction and jealousy, often obsessing over whether their partner actually loves them. This model often stems from inconsistent parenting. As this table shows, the anxious group scores the highest in both trait and state loneliness. The intensity they bring to relationships often ends up driving partners away, creating the very isolation they fear most. These behaviors, the jealousy, the ghosting, or the neediness, are biological adaptations to the specific environments you grew up in. Recognizing them as learned behavior patterns is how you begin to decouple from your past. So, which operating system is currently running your love life? Let's use the parameters directly from the Hazan and Shaver study to run a quick diagnostic. Do you get nervous when someone gets too close? Seeking distance when a relationship gets serious means you are running the avoidant code. Or do you obsess that your partner doesn't actually love you? An immediate need for reassurance means you are anxious. Take a second right now and drop your specific attachment style in the comments. Acknowledging your default setting out loud is step 1 of the accountability process. Identifying your flawed blueprint is the prerequisite for fixing it. Once you see the code, you can start rewriting the instructions. You are not permanently defined by the mental models you built as a child. Because these are working models, they can be updated. You can consciously override your factory settings. If you scored as avoidant, your prescription is to re-evaluate emotional distance. Your assignment is to practice micro-vulnerability. Share a real fear or a genuine struggle with your partner. When that familiar urge to run away kicks in, you have to recognize it as a software glitch, not reality. Stay in the room. If you scored as anxious, you need to build intrinsic self-worth that exists outside of your romantic life. Prioritize your career, your fitness, and your personal interests. You have to stop using relationships as the primary tool to fill an emotional void. And a specific warning for the anxious man: beware of the anxious-avoidant trap. Chasing an emotionally unavailable avoidant partner triggers your deepest insecurities. Your pursuit forces her to retreat, which only makes you pursue harder in a continuous, toxic loop. If you are already running the secure code, your directive is simple: stay the course. Trust your process and filter out highly insecure partners who will continuously drain your energy. The difference between understanding these models and being blind to them is measurable. It is the difference between a relationship that struggles to reach the 5-year mark and one that has the internal architecture to last twice as long. Make sure you comment your specific attachment style and your biggest dating fail below. Subscribe to the channel for more psychological frameworks, and check the description for a link to the original 1987 study to read the data for yourself.